came in for a meeting yesterday. We met yesterday at 8:30, so a little bit earlier, and he was here for that too.
So today was his first time back with actual players and that kind of thing since going to North Carolina?
Yeah, being on the floor. But he's come to meetings, coaches' meetings before, and like I said, we talk a couple of times a day, at least by phone.
I know you're letting Bob kind of handle his updates, but do you feel good about him potentially coming back at some point?
That's a question for Bob. I'll just coach until they tell me otherwise. You know, tell me otherwise, I'll do the otherwise.
Mike, Steph just said how nice it was to hear Steve's voice today, and just that was a nice moment. I mean, can you speak to that a little bit, just on what that means to everybody to have him here once in a while?
Yeah, well, for me it's a little different because I hear his voice a couple of times a day, and so that's good. But so for me, more than anything else, it was great to see him out here, especially during practice, walking around, talking to guys, and you really enjoy that because he's our leader, and he's the guy that laid the foundation and got everybody heading in the right direction. And so, the more he can be around, it's a better feel that all of us have, not just the players, but us as a staff and so on and so forth. So it was good to see him out here today.
I know you addressed it yesterday, but just being with the Spurs last year, how much did that whet your appetite and get your juices flowing to get back into it?
A ton, yeah. I mean, you guys know Pop. And I said this before, he's done a lot for me off the floor, away from basketball, and just as much on the floor too. And so to be able to be around him 13 years later, because last time I was around him was 2003, really, from a day-to-day basis, and then to come back and do it again, 2016 was awesome. I mean, it got my juices flowing. I learned a ton. Had a lot of fun hanging out with him. I love the fact that, he loves to go eat and drink, but more importantly, I didn't have to pay. So I miss that more than anything else.
Makes the food taste better, right?
Makes the food and the drink taste a lot better.
That's what my dad said.
Yes. Pop, we going out again? Yes.
Mike, you might not be surprised that his reaction when somebody asked him today about stopping your high-flying offense was pray. And Steph just said, "Oh, that's just gamesmanship." Is that just Pop?
That's Pop.
Yeah.
He is doing a lot more than praying right now. He knows what he wants to do against us.
How is he so good at when he faces teams that rely on the three ball a lot? How is he so good at running guys off that line and making sure guys got there and maintaining the defensive discipline on that?
You know what? He has a feel for doing just the right amount of stuff to get his point across. What I mean by that is he watches the right amount of film with the team. Not only does he do the right drills, but he drills them just enough. He scrimmages them just enough. And that's the fine line, because you got pros that play a ton of games and you're talking to them all the time, and if you go even this much overboard with a group of guys on this level, they'll tune you out. And once they start tuning you out, then it's a wrap. You don't have a shot at all. And what's so remarkable about his situation is, man, he's been there 20 years. And a lot of those guys been there a long time. And to hear his voice day after day after day, but them still accept it and still try to go do it, that's just as remarkable as his record and championships and all that other stuff.
I think based on the last series and even watching him over the years, when his team gives up an open three to a three-point shooter, it's like he goes ballistic. I mean, is that like the thing he hates the most, or I mean, that's something that just bugs him, or what?
More than anything else, it's game plan discipline. So meaning that if a certain guy that they're okay with shooting threes knocks down a three, makes a three, and in their game plan they said, hey, since you're guarding this guy, you're going to be more in a help position. You can close out to him late, close out and play him for the drive. If he knocks down a three, Pop may be okay, because in Pop's mind, he loves gamesmanship, like we talked about earlier. Pop wants you to make that three. Why? Because the next time you get it, you're probably going to shoot it. And he knows that you shooting threes, that's not going to beat us today. So, it's all part of...
Especially my three.
I'm sorry, I should have... Maybe point at Anthony. I think you can shoot it. I know he can. That's what I'm saying. I know you can.
When I played, they didn't have a three-point line.
But that same guy is an actual free threat.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, and it's part of the game plan, and he's probably saying, hey, don't leave him or run him off the line. Even if he makes a two, you get him off that three-point line. If he doesn't, he knocks out a three. He goes crazy, but you best believe it. Boop! That is coming right away.
What are you seeing from LaMarcus Aldridge through these playoffs? How well is he playing right now? Obviously had a great game the last closeout time.
Yeah, and even the games that he hasn't played probably up to his expectations, he's a threat. He's done it for many years. He's almost like a safety valve because they can throw him the ball at any time and get a great look. And if he gets doubled, he's done a fantastic job of kicking the ball out and getting the ball to three-point shooters that make you pay in another way. But, what I like really a ton about him, whether he's scoring on the block or not, is he's done a fantastic job either rebounding for putbacks, keeping the ball alive, or rebounding and kicking it out and giving them extra shots from the three-point line. So he's been big in those areas.
It seems like the players have gotten the message on the rebounding importance. Steph was over here talking about it earlier, just making sure you get the rebound after playing 24 seconds as a defense.
Yeah, we know, you watch film on those guys, and they're sending a lot of guys to the glass. I mean, on a single possession, they may send their two and their three, or their one and their three to the glass. And so for us, we got to box out. And, obviously, if they're sending all those guys to the glass, we want to push it, whether it's a make or a miss. We want to play at a high level of pace.
Mike, is there a situation you put in here, having been a coach before, but you're coming into a very difficult situation? Was there a spirit of feeling awkward initially? Did you work through that, or are you still, in the back of your mind wondering, am I coaching next week, the next series? Has that at all been difficult for you? It's just the lack of really clarity on the situation, Steve?
No, and maybe because I've been coaching so long, I've been in a lot of different situations, and it hadn't changed. Bottom line is, they told me I'm a coach until they tell me not to. And so for me, it was pretty easy to follow that game plan. And then on top of that, like I said, Steve and I are in constant communication, so it doesn't necessarily feel like, I'm here and I got to pull myself back when he comes back or anything like that. I'm just trying to hold down the fort until he gets back, and we've got a tremendous coaching staff that's helped out. And all of our players, especially our veteran players, have stepped up and helped on the court, off the court, and made the transition pretty easy.
I know these are difficult questions for you to answer, but with Steve participating in practice today, would he be on site tomorrow night?
I'm not sure. There's a chance he may be, and obviously if he's there, and I get asked, I'm going to say whether he's there or not, just like he was there today. But we hope he is, but I'm not sure. He came to game. I want to say game 4 in Portland. I don't think he was at any games against Utah, but we'll see tomorrow.
Mike, how active was he today?
He addressed the team at the beginning, but the routine was kind of the same. So did I, and then JC showed some film to the guys, and then on the floor, he was talking to guys individually for the most part. We just kept doing what we've normally been doing, and every once in a while he'd interject.
Coach, we know that Pop likes to go with two bigs a lot of the time. I think pretty much every minute when you guys played in the series, they went that way. They went small a little bit more in the Houston series. Do you expect to see more of that from them in this series?
We think they're going to go small some against us. We even think that they may possibly start small, but it's all a guess or a crapshoot when it comes to trying to figure those things out until the game actually starts.
What different challenges do they present their big lineup versus their small lineup?
Well, one of the biggest keys for us is their ability to rebound. And we always say we want to win the possession game. And if we win the possession game, we feel like we'll have a good chance of winning the game with our scoring power. And so when you play 2 7-footers, they're capable rebounders. Plus, you're allowing your small forward, your 2 guard, sometimes your point guard to go crash the offensive glass. I mean, that slows the game down when they offensive rebound. So that size alone is something that we have to do a good job of keeping the guys off the glass, especially if we want to turn this thing into a track meet.
Coach, could you talk about Draymond's performance last series, especially his three-pointer? He shot so well. He had the best three-pointer shooting percentage among you guys.
Yeah, Draymond took terrific shots in the last series. He's been taking terrific shots the whole playoffs. And he's getting a lot of his open threes because our guys are driving the ball. We talked to our guys about drive and kick, trying to keep our opponent on their heels. And so our guys have done a nice job driving. And Draymond's spaced in the corner, or he's spaced at the top of the floor. He's got his feet ready, his hands ready. When that ball kicks to him, because his guy helps a ton, he's getting some good looks. And we want him to continue shooting the ball because we see it on a daily basis how hard he works on his three-point shot. And so we want him, when he's open, to shoot that thing and knock it down like he's been doing.
Is that it? Great. Thank you.
Thank y'all very much.